If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi, and welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast, where we talk about business and technology. Today, we're going to be talking about the landscape of the automotive industry in China, with a special focus on NIO, as we are NIO investors. So this is going to be a pretty good video. As always, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. All that stuff really does go a long way in helping out the channel. Ye Shu, a recruiter in the automotive industry in China, is suggesting that companies are being a lot more scrutinous with their recruiting practice and cutting down on how many employees that they're choosing to take on at this point in time. This is supposedly in an effort to reduce costs and protect capital, but is all this scrutinization stifling innovation? Is it necessary? Those are some themes that we'll continue to explore throughout today's episode. So let's explore this provocative notion of the nature of trimming the workforce. So obviously, by picking and shrinking employee count, employers are going to save a little bit of money here. But in the grand scheme of things, is it really going to mean anything compared to their operational cost? Are relentless workforce reductions sacrificing product quality and the future customer experience? We've got a Tesla twist to this story as well. Tesla decided to close down their Parkview location in Beijing. This was last year, of course, but many speculated that it was a cost-saving mechanism due to the lease expiring, so convenient timing as well. This might be a different element of companies being more scrutinous with their budgets, but the question remains, is this a cost-cutting maneuver or strategic shift in the business model? And what does that mean for NIO as it continues to expand its footprint? And by that, I'm talking about the NIO stores that they're opening, or the NIO houses, excuse me. Are we witnessing a transformative shift in the way that EV companies approach their showrooms? Here's a spicy tidbit. NIO's first NIO house in Beijing paid an annual rent of 80 million yuan for its primary location. But the costs don't even stop there. Even in primary shopping malls, when you're thinking about the greater industry, the cost for automakers to have a store is substantial. Is this spending justifiable, or should NIO consider alternatives to showcase its products? And how will this impact our investments as NIO supporters with all of the cash burn? These type of stores have been a go-to choice for automakers due to their advertising appeal. Founder of WM Motors, which we talked about yesterday, that filed for bankruptcy, said that probably half the cost of these supermarket stores is spent on advertising. But in times of austerity like this, should new car companies reevaluate their advertising strategies? How can they maintain a powerful presence while keeping a watchful eye on their budgets is the question. We talked about this yesterday as well, but a new trend is emerging when we talked about XPENG, which is gradually phasing out of the inefficiently operated stores that they have. Is this a sign that traditional showroom models are no longer sustainable for the new automobile market? NIO's not one to be left behind in the race for change. It's considering keeping things like the NIO house, but also planning a quote-unquote large showroom store, which we just mentioned is pretty expensive. So we do have to ask, is this a smart move considering the number of new models that NIO has released? We got to think to ourselves the consequences of doing and not doing. How will this affect brand image, and then how will it also in turn affect financials? In addition, NIO's sales staff is getting a major overhaul. There's a notable increase in the amount of employees that have been eliminated. Salespeople obviously have to meet higher targets for test drives and app registrations. Inputs and outputs is all what it's about. With budgets being super tight right now and pretty much all car companies keeping a watchful eye over their budgets, it leads us to ask the question, how will these things affect NIO's customer service and product information? I mean, even BYD, who sold $2 million worth of cars in only the first 9 months of 2023, isn't in a rush to go out there and just be loose with their money. They're also doing these things as well. Car companies being tight with their budgets is putting suppliers in a pinch. Car companies are demanding cheaper prices from suppliers, and a lot of suppliers are finding themselves in a challenging situation right now. And so it's kind of like a trickle-down effect. So suppliers are also looking for their own ways to cut costs in their businesses as well. So for the entire automotive industry, you have to ask yourself, do you draw the line between cost cutting and quality products? How far will suppliers go to cut costs? As we say every day, it's an ever-evolving landscape, and the entire industry is having to roll with the punches at a breakneck pace. As a NIO investor, I'm not just an observer, but I'm a participant in this. I hope these thoughts, this stream of consciousness, brought you a fresh perspective to consider and gave you some useful information. If it did, if you found this video helpful, insightful, whatever the case may be, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell icon. All that stuff really does go a long way in helping out the channel.